Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Isabelle Amigues, your friendly rheumatologist. It's such a pleasure to see you after some time off. One, to go on vacation, and two, to just catch up on life and on my practice. So, welcome everyone. If you've never seen me, I'm Dr. Isabelle Amigues. I'm a rheumatologist in direct care practice. I absolutely love being a rheumatologist. I also love being a physician in general, and I blend Western medicine, which is extremely powerful, as well as technique that are coming from the Eastern medicine world, but as well as just mindset word. And I get my patients to remission using those blended techniques. Okay. Those episodes are live. If you're watching them live, please write hashtag live. If you're watching them on replay, please write hashtag replay. And today we're going to talk about how to support an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. This is a question that literally in every single of my visits I have had with patients. And so we are going to talk about this because I want you to know what it is. At the end of this live, you should have some ideas of what you can do to help your lifestyle so that you can decrease inflammation in your body, and thanks to that actually have improvement of your rheumatologic disorder. Okay, so inflammation, first of all, inflammation, I'm not going to go into detail right now, but basically inflammation, it's a ton of fire in your system. And when you have chronic inflammation, the issue is that this fire is never put out. So while it's important to have a little bit of fire here and there, you don't want to have a fire that's getting out of control. And the job of your body is to decrease that inflammation. The issue is that if you're telling them that there is ongoing inflammation, if you have fuel on the fire, it can never stop. Okay, so that's what it is. And how to support an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. The first one you all know is what you're going to choose in terms of nutrition. So in terms of nutrition, what I recommend is an anti-inflammatory diet. We can go and deep dive into this, but because I want to really go into all of the things that you can do, I'm just going to share with you what it means. And I'm gonna share an example. I had a patient that a long time ago when I was in New York City at Columbia University. I had a patient who had severe rheumatoid arthritis, so inflammatory arthritis, so that affects the joint. It's very painful, associated with swelling. And when we went a little bit deep down, we realized that mainly what she was eating was already made food because she didn't have the time to cook. And so she would eat processed food and only processed food. And so what I told her at that point was, go to the produce section and try to eat only things that are in the produce section, and then maybe some chicken or some fish. Okay. And she did this. And after a month, she had no more joint pain and no more swelling. She still had some morning stiffness, and we had to because she had wanted to wait until we got the result of the blood work and so on. So she definitely did have rheumatoid arthritis. But what was incredible is to see that with just this one thing, she was actually in much less activity of her disease. Okay. And then, of course, we got her to remission. But basically, always remember food that's anti-inflammatory diet. Like a very simple way to remember that is inflammatory diet is a diet that uses a lot of colorful veggies and fruits, and that is avoiding processed food. And I am really sorry to tell you, anything that's sugary is processed. Any alcohol is processed. So alcohol has plenty of sugar and no good calories, and it's not the greatest for me. I'm French. I like some wine here and there, but basically you don't want to do too much of that. And sugar, try to avoid sugar. And I would say, honestly, try to avoid gluten because the way it's processed is not healthy here. And so I would recommend grains over gluten, anything that's gluten. Okay, grain. So a bowl of rice, but not the white rice. Rather, you want the dark rice, or there's black rice, and so on. Okay, so number one, the nutrition choice. Number two is exercising. If you exercise every day, you are helping your body heal, because it is actually anti-inflammatory to exercise on a regular basis. It's almost as if you're training your body to heal faster. Okay. So exercise doesn't have to be this really word that's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I don't want to exercise. You know what? Just move. If what you're doing is that instead of taking an elevator, you're taking stairs, just go on stairs. Instead of parking the closest to a shop, park at the end of the parking line. Okay. If you want to go and pick up your kids, go in a bike or go and walk to there. It's really all of those little things in the daily life you can just change. Instead of I don't know, like just instead of taking your car for something that's not too far, decide that you're going to take and you're going to walk, and then move as much as you can. If you have the choice to move, decide to move. Okay, so that's that's the thing that's really important. And then I recommend exercise on a regular basis. I would say, you don't have to do much. You can do 20 minutes per day, 40 minutes per day, 40 minutes of walking, 20 minutes of high rate that's a little bit elevated every day. Yoga, that's great. Tai Chi is great. Qigong is great. Just walking with your loved one, that is wonderful. And if you want to decide that this is how you're doing a date time with your partner, you could literally do that every day and say, okay, we're walking. Let's walk. Take your dog, get and adopt a dog, and make sure that you're walking them every day. That also will help you, right? So that is the second one. So first one, anti-inflammatory nutrition choice. Second one, like movement. The third one is to distress. Better said than done, you're going to tell me. But actually, I want to invite you to take a moment right now and think, what is stressful in my life? And if you knew, so I don't like necessarily to use that, but if you knew that your life was not a given, that you were going to, not live fully, which I want to say is actually what's happening. We all have a certain amount of life in us, and I think that most of us are going to live to 120 because medicine is so powerful. And if you're here, you're taking charge of your health, and so you're a group that's interested in living to 120, right? But even 120, it's actually not so long from now, right? And so now that you know this, then do you need to care about what this person said or thinks or is showing up into the word? Do you really need to care about this thing or that thing? Maybe you can take a deep breath and realize that there's a lot of things, it's okay. And even when you're thinking of your rheumatologic condition, if you do have one, realize that it is also bringing you a lot of good. Maybe the only good is to see me on live every Tuesday. Hi, everyone. Right? Maybe that's one of the good. Maybe there's other goods, right? And that's something that I sometimes go very deep dive into with patients in my practice, because we can, and there are techniques to actually look at what is valuable in not being in remission. And once we figure that out, then we can be in remission, right? It's letting go of all of the good stuff associated with the condition that allows you to get into remission. Okay. And so think about that, right? Like, what is really stressful into your life? And if you knew that that was taken care of, that the universe was going to take care of it, right? That you don't have to put any energy into thinking about it. Universe is telling you, I'm taking care of it. You don't have to deal with it, right? Would you actually not be as stressed? Okay. Some of the ways that you can do this is by going into like doing meditations, You can also just just think about it, like, and write into a journal, and write in the journal what's causing you to think like that or stressing out, and just decide that the moment I'm putting this down in a journal, I'm not thinking about this. That's actually really important. Okay. And then finally, decide what is important and learn how to say no. Conditions are a very good way to say no to other people. If you think about it, if you say, "Oh, I am having a rheumatoid arthritis flare," no one is going to question that, and that's your way of saying no. What if I give you authorization to say no without needing a flare? Well, I am giving you that authorization. You can say no. You can say no to your family member that's asking you something. You can say no to an employer that's asking you something. You can say no to a client that's asking you something. You are allowed to say no, and no is a full sentence. And I really mean it. And we can deep dive into this again, because a no is a lot, like, by saying no, you're saying yes to the things that you choose. Whereas if you keep saying yes, you're saying no to the things that you would choose. By saying yes, you're saying yes to the things that are coming from outside instead of saying yes to what you choose. This is really important. And maybe what you choose is you. Maybe it's time to choose you. And I'm going to tell you, it is time to choose you. So that's an anti-inflammatory right there. Choose you. And it is not selfish. It is that if you don't take care of you, you cannot take care of other people. Same thing with physicians. If they do not take care of themselves, they cannot be as good taking care of you. Okay, so that's really important. Okay, so we talked about nutrition, we talked about movement, we talked about stress relief activities, right? And we said, okay, maybe we can reframe all of the stress in your life. Then we're talking about meditation. So meditation is actually really, really good for decreasing inflammation. And then I'm going to recommend to hum or to sing. If you don't like to hum or to sing, you can hum, but you have to realize that this is a technique that's going to vibrate, so that the vibration is going to create a stimulation of your vagal nerve. And yes, there is a study, multiple studies that are showing that vagal nerve stimulation help with healing and decreasing inflammation. And yes, we can put a stimulator of your vagal nerve, but what if you could do it on your own? Wouldn't it be amazing? And you can. So you can actually visualize, what am I saying? You can vibrate the vocal cord by humming, singing, and that will actually really be helpful. Okay. And then sleep. So sleep is a hard one for anyone that's peri or postmenopausal. I see you. I see you. For anyone that's ADHD, I see you. And for anyone that's just hyper and drinks a ton of coffee to be here and available, I see you. And to any mom that has a young kid, I see you. Yet sleep is super powerful. It is probably the most powerful tool that anyone has. Sleep will allow you to heal faster than any other way. In a way, although I love my medical treatments, I love drugs in rheumatology, what I can tell you is that sleep will heal you probably faster than anything else. And in a way, that is why a lot of people are very tired when there is ongoing inflammation. If there is ongoing inflammation, you are going to have to rest more than the vast majority of people, or than the normal, quote unquote, you. And so, yeah, rest, rest, rest. There are techniques to help with sleep. One of the ones that I use with my patient is to wind down. So don't decide that, oh, I'm going to sleep. I sleep at 2 a.m. and I wake up at 7. You're not going to sleep suddenly at 10. It's not going to happen. But what you can do is every day, try to decrease by half an hour and decide, I'm winding down 1 hour before my decision time where I'm going to go to bed. And I recommend at least 7 hours of sleep. That is really important. Realize that the more tired you are, the more fragmented your sleep will be. Okay. And if you're someone that has a lot in their mind, you might actually go to bed because you're exhausted, you fall asleep, and then you wake up. And so your work is going to be to fully pass through, make sure that you don't have any nap so that you can go to bed on time, but you want to push the time of your sleep so that you really have 7 hours. And it might be really hard at first, but you will see it's as if you're treating you as a kid that needs to have a schedule. And when we have kids that wake up every 2 hours to breastfeed or get a bottle, we train them to go without that bottle or that breastfeeding, and we train them to learn how to not need it at night. You're doing the exact same thing for you. Okay, so what have we learned? We have learned that inflammation causes harm into your body. It's kind of having a fire with an alarm that's constantly ringing. We have learned that an anti-inflammatory, like how to work with anti-inflammatory uh, techniques are going to help you heal faster. We have learned that processed food are very inflammatory, that you're trying to eat more veggies and fruits. We have learned that exercise and movement is anti-inflammatory. We have learned that techniques to decrease your stress can really help with inflammation, and that meditation can really help with inflammation, and stimulating your vagal nerve by singing or humming can really help. And then finally, we closed on sleep, which is extremely important. All of those seems very easy. Like they seem very basic, but all of those are extremely powerful. So I'm recommending all of you to decide from now on that you're going to maybe choose one of those, and you're going to decide, I'm choosing to work on that one thing for the next week. And then you're going to add another one the week after, etc. And you're deciding to show up in your life in an anti-inflammatory version of you. And if you are deciding that, I'm recommending that you share this with someone as an accountable partner. And you're saying, that's it, I'm doing this. Okay. I will see you next week. And it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. And let's see. Dorian, Rabiu, hi. And then Michelle, it's such a pleasure to see you. And then all of the ones that are not here, Rock Dog, and I know I started late. Rock Dog, I'm sure you're here. Everyone, it's such a pleasure always. And I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.